Aiwa, Zimbabwe tiri kudai kusangana munguva inosuwisa, nguva inoparadza, tichichema tiri senyika, vana vedu vatisiya, vakatisiya mutsaona yemugwagwa yakaitika kuinyanga, vana vedu vekuTinwald High School vanga vaenda kutrip. Tiri kudai kusangana panguva inosuwisa chaizvo, panguva yedu yenews review yatinosangana every time, same time panapa, tichitarisa nhau dzanga dzichiitika paChange Radio muvhiki rapfuura. Viewers and listeners, we greet you from all over the world. Welcome to our Change Radio news review program, where we opened with a very sad and a heart-rending video of the funeral service of the children who lost their lives, unfortunately, in Juliusdale, coming from a trip. Our hearts are heavy. We are crying as a nation, and our hearts go out to the families of those 6 young children who passed away. My name is Sophia Tekwani. I'm not alone today. I will be asking members of the panel to introduce themselves and to also greet the viewers. I'll start with you, Leader Barbara.
Yes, thank you so much, Champion Sophie. Lingabe ndavuka njani lachona njani mthwakazi omuhle. Yebo sesihlangana njalo ku news review lapha esililethela khona indaba ebezenzakala iviki yonke. Namhla siqalisa ngendaba edanisayo kakhulu eyabantwana beTinwald, lapho abayenze khona ingozi yebhasi bevela eNyanga ku school trip. Bahla bezulu indaba ezwiswa ubuhlungu kakhulu, abantwana besakhula ebesikhangelele ukuthi baza kuba ngabakhokheli bakusasa. I-Change Radio ikhala lemuli zabantwana laba ababhubhileyo, abantwana abayisithupha, amantombazana 5 lejaha elilodwa. Sisithi kumuli elahlekelweyo Dudu sikhala lani, sisithi isikolo seTinwald sikhala kanye lani, sisithi kumuli yeZimbabwe sikhala lani, i-Change Radio ikhala lani. Angani uNkulunkulu angaba lemuli ibaduduze. Namhla ke sibone kusenziwa iservice yabantwana laba. Siyabonga. Over to you, Prof.
Yes, tinotenda Champion Barbara. Chokwadi nhasi uno tiri kusangana kudai muchirongwa chedu chenews review. Tine nyaya inosuwisa zvikuru, nyaya yevana vakashaikira munjodzi yemugwagwa kunyanga, vana vepaTinwald. Tinoti nemhuri yavo, mhuri dzavo dzose, tinoti nematambudziko. Tochema netariro semhuri yeZimbabwe, tarasikirwa nevana vakanga vane vaitaridza kana kuti vakanga vane shuviro chekukura kuti vave vatungamiriri kana kuti vabereki vamangwana. So tinosuwa zvikuru nechiitiko ichi seChange Radio. Masora sei kungava kwese kwamuri, hama vadiwa vateereri nevatariri. Tikusangana zvakare muchirongwa chedu chesvondo rega chenews review. Let me go back to Leader Sophia.
Thank you so much, DJ Prof. I think our other guests will get in and speak to them as we go in. But maybe just to start with you, Leader Barbara. As a
Sorry,
parent.
Leader Champion, we have Dr. Shiko with us and Chief. I don't know if Chief is here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, leaders. Maybe while you're here as well, you can take this opportunity to greet the viewers, Champion Estella.
Well, thank you, Champion Sophia. Warm welcome to this week's episode of News Review, viewers and listeners. It's always a pleasure to see you on this program. As usual, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, followed us on TikTok or on Facebook, please do so and do engage us in the comment section. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think we have Dr. Jiko as well, Dr. Jiko Manjengwa, who will be talking to us about the Matobos issue. But I think if you could greet the viewers, Dr. Jiko, for us, that would be fantastic.
Yes. Greetings, champions. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. So specifically, you called me to talk about the attacks that have been meted on our champions in Matobo area. I think for those who have been following the social media reports, you have seen our spokesperson, Fadzai Mahere, tweeting about the instances of Matobo. We received a distress call from Honorable Molokele saying that they had actually gone into the bush and they were on the run because the Zanu PF thugs were pursuing them. We saw the destruction of a car. And we also saw that some of our lady champions were undressed by the Zanu PF thugs. That's the greatest level of dehumanizing someone, undressing them in public. But this is what ZANU PF has done in Matobo. We would like to warn ZANU PF that what they are doing is going to come to an end, and it won't last forever. And for those who did it, the thugs themselves, we are going to find you. We know you, and such things should not go unanswered, especially an attack on our late champions in the 21st century. We don't expect an attack on women like this. Neither do we even expect the political violence itself to be taking place. But this is a new law for ZANU PF, and I think ZANU PF should stop it. And we say to the security forces and to all the people that are responsible for keeping peace in the country, this is on you, because whenever there's a gathering, whenever you know that there's an election or something like that, you are supposed to be on the ground. You cannot just let things be and let the people be attacked for their political views or for having a different political ideology. Zimbabwe is supposed to be a free country, and we are supposed to be acting according to our different political persuasions, not just expecting everyone to be ZANU PF. The fact that they are being defeated or that we are defeating ZANU PF, and the fact that they think that the only tool that they have left is violence, is not a license for them to use that tool of violence. ZANU PF should go peacefully. We know that they know that they are going to be defeated heavily, and now they are hoping that violence will save them. but nothing can save Zanu PF at this juncture. Zanu PF, the lifeline has been cut short. It is coming to an end. Therefore, all these kicks of a dying horse are unnecessary. For those who believe that Zanu PF is going to protect them for a long time, if you are a thug, I can say that you are wrong. Zanu PF won't be in power long enough to protect you. It's only a matter of a few months. In Shona, they say Mosha Irovi, a crime cannot disappear. Your crimes, you will need to answer for those crimes that you are committing right now. It's a sad day when we are mourning the Teen World children. Zanu PF is using that as a smoke screen to perform some criminal acts like undressing our women, like attacking our MPs. We all know that Honorable Pulu and others, Honorable Notlata and others, have been attacked and they have been badly injured. Honorable Molokele is on the run and all those things. It's not good to prey on the weak and on those whom you know that they have no protection. They came. There's political contestation in Matobo, and we are expected to be contesting. That's why we have candidates there. If we are allowed to contest, and if we are allowed to grab Matobo, they should allow us to contest because it is our rights as a movement. So that's what I would like to say for now, that we really condemn the attacks on our members, our honorables, and our change champions. And we really call upon all women organizations and all NGOs in Zimbabwe to come out strongly and condemn the attack that was meted on the led champions. Because if we just keep quiet, we are going to set a very bad precedent. ZANU PF will think that they can just do this and get away with it, but they cannot get away with something like that. You can't get away with an attack on women and led champions in the 21st century. That must not be allowed. Anyone who considers themselves an activist should actually go ahead and act on this one. You cannot be silent. You cannot keep quiet when women are being attacked. Today, it is change champions in Matobo. Tomorrow, it is you. Don't wake up when you have been attacked. Wake up now that you have seen that the attacks have started, and we hope this will be the end of the attacks. And to all those who consider themselves Christians or who consider themselves religious, who pray through various religions, pray for peace in our country. Pray for our change champions who have been attacked. Pray for those who are in the bush right now, who are supposed to be in the comfort of their homes. Pray for the by-elections that are going on, and also pray that ZANU PF goes peacefully. There's no need for them to kick like a dying horse. They have to go honorably and show the world that Zimbabweans can actually uphold peace if the ruling party has been defeated. So we are defeating ZANU PF, and this is the time for them to respect themselves and go honorably, because these are their last days, and they have to accept the fact they are still in denial. But you can't live in denial for too long. This is the end of ZANU PF. It's coming in less than 1 year, and we hope ZANU PF takes that into consideration. Thank you, Change Champions. If I'm going to contribute, I will come back again in the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jiko, for that well-rounded presentation. And indeed, these are the last kicks of a dying horse. There are videos and clips of this pathetic incident really by Zanu PF. I think if we can show that, and then we can go to Champion Barbara and Chief Soshe to come in and also give us their views on this story. Yeah, that is the best of the low indeed, really. And the lady, I think we have pictures of the ladies that Dr. Jiko was talking about, that were forcibly undressed by ZANU PF members in Matobo. If we can show that, and then we can go to Champion Barbara for her to give us her views and her presentation on this.
And the audio by Honorable Molokele.
Yes, please. So there we have, citizen ladies undressed. This has got to be the lowest of the low. This has got to be the most dehumanizing, demoralizing action you can take against any woman. If you look at these women, these are people's mothers, maybe grandmothers. How do you take a woman of that age and parade her, undress her and parade her? That is the most undignifying action you can take against anyone in the community, more or less ladies that should be protected. So there you have it. That is ZANU PF for you. They do not care about anyone's feelings or rights. What they exist is to really dehumanize Zimbabweans, and they don't care about anything or anyone. If there's a clip there from Honorable Molekele where he was fleeing from the situation, it would be great. And then we can have Champion Barbara coming in after that.
Hi, Samu. I've run away from the car with my other colleagues. We have been attacked by a convoy of about 7 trucks from ZANU PF. So we are on the run in the bush. Can you raise the alarm? Can everyone in the world? Hi, Samu.
Right, Champion Barbara, would you like to come in there?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sophie. That's very unfortunate. The issue of women abuse or violation of women's rights, especially the political rights. It's a cause for concern in this era where we are fighting for gender equality. These are the issues that make women not participate in politics. Women are so scared to participate in politics because of ZANU PF that continues to abuse, to harass women, to rape women. They beat women. ZANU PF hates women. ZANU PF, they are misogynists. They hate women. They want to victimize women so that they fear, so that they don't participate in politics. They know women are powerful. They know that. Even in their party, they don't respect women. They abuse their own women, let alone the CCC women. So this is the government that people still want to vote for, that does not respect the rights of the women, that does not respect their mothers, that does not respect their sisters, their aunts. This is inhuman. This is our as Africans, we are bound by the spirit of Ubuntu, Ulu. So, if children beat their own mothers because they hold a different opinion, then it's very unfortunate. This is the reason why we're saying people should register to vote and vote for change. You can't vote for ZANU PF in 2023 when it's doing like this. Bahla bezulu besilitshengisa indaba eyenzakala eMatobo lapho abantu be-CCC abatshaywe khona Honorable Phulu, uNhlanhla Mlotshwa labanye libonile imifanekiso yabomama labo abatshaywe bakhitshwa izigqoko ade benqunu betshaywa yiZanu PF. Lizwile le audio kaDaniel Molokele Honorable bekhefuzela kutshengisa ukuthi bebabaleka basegangeni sikhuluma kunje bebalekela iZanu. Ubusubona abantu bemaThebeleland besiyavotela iZanu yona ibhizi itshaya abantu bayo. Abantu bemaThebeleland batshayiwe, kanti ubona abantu behamba besiyavotela iZanu. And even uZenzele wakhuluma Sophie ekhuluma esithi uyamangala ukuthi why is it people in Matabeleland vote for ZANU PF and yet they cry for Gukurahundi. It doesn't balance, it doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. 20 out of 24 constituencies, they are ZANU PF constituencies. And yet they still cry foul on Gukurahundi. They say they want justice on Gukura. You want justice on people that you are voting. Do you think you will ever get justice when you are voting for the perpetrator? You will not get justice from a perpetrator. The people of Matabeleland can only get justice from a new government that cares for the people. They are beating people because they know they've already lost. ZANU PF has already lost. President Nation Chamisa is going to win overwhelmingly. That's why they're beating people. And people should not be deterred. People, they should still decide their fate in 2023 when they vote for change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Champion Barbara. Indeed, people must decide and take charge of their fate and vote for change in 2023, a few months from now. So there we go, guys. Register to vote, defend the vote. This is the only way we can get these ZANU PF thugs out of out of power and out of intimidating and discrimination, and also the thuggery that we've seen. Chief Sose, I don't know if you can hear us. Would you like to come in there and give us your presentation about what you think and what we've seen happening in Matobo? And indeed, you know, this is sort of replicating itself all across the country. If you can hear me, we would like you to come in and give your thoughts on the story as it is unfolding. Okay, while we're waiting for him, I don't know, DJ Prof, do you have anything you would like to add while we're waiting for Chief Sose to come in on the audio of violence in Matobo?
I think I have another clip that has not been flighted, so after DJ Prof, I can play another clip whilst we wait.
Thank you.
Can I just add a bit? Oh.
Yes, please. Thank you, DJ Prof. If you can add a bit, that would be great.
So yes, I think the violence that had happened in Matobo is uncalled for, and then actually what has happened now is that what is just arriving now to my desk is that the people that went to do the violence is they come as far as Mashola and Central, and we have got a video clip on our news review. I think the IT department is going to show it up. I've just sent it now. That can you show the viewers and listeners that the viewers on our chat knows that this is what had happened. There's a woman there saying even the registration number. There's a car ZANU PF which is turning around, which is labeled ZANU PF Masholan Central Youth, and it's in Matobo. And Matobo is in Matabeleland, and they're picking people from Masholan Central to go and shoot people. And the woman there is saying they are shooting because they've got guns. Actually, we are kuluma ngesindebele uthi banombhobho apha kuthi and bayasidubula. So it's actually very, very sad that you organize interprovincial violence in a country where you claim to be a democratic country, in a country that you claim to be a constitutional democracy, where you have to pick people from, you have to use those cars that you bought with citizens' money to go and shoot and kill people in Matabeleland. Exactly, I agree with one of the our viewers here that have put a comment on Facebook to say Zanu PF have started their antics of that Zanu PF have started their Gukura Wundi antics. Imagine taking people from other provinces to go to Matabeleland to go and dress women like that, to go and address your mothers like that, in public view like that, daylight like that. What have come into our mind as young people in Zimbabwe? What has come into our mind as youth in Zimbabwe, that you don't even hesitate to put your hand on a defenseless woman like that? It's actually a pity, and I'm sure that even them, the leaders of ZANU-PF, when they are seeing that, they are being ashamed of themselves or whatever they've done to those people. And I'm sure the IT department, if you find that video, you can please flight it to the people and let them see what happened today in Matobo. And the women are saying this is the car from Mashola and Sendra, and they're even saying it with their registration number there. Thank you.
What are you doing, Lizaman? AFX 1433 ZANU PF March Central Youth League Mazda ACU 3256. All right. A grey Toyota Hilux, Ranger ACI, and shooting. They are shooting at us. They blocked our people with Hambela. They are shooting at us. Imoda AFX 1433 ULM Popo. AFX 1433. They are shooting at us. They are shooting at us. These guys here. They are shooting at us. They are shooting at us. It is war in Ward 2. You have no monopoly over this ward. It's an election period and everyone is allowed to campaign. Everyone is allowed to campaign in this ward. This ward doesn't belong to you. Law number AFX 14. And all these cars are branded ZANU PF. They have the pictures of ED. All these cars are branded and they are shooting live ammunition at us. Liabale, guys, don't retreat.
As you have seen, that is what is happening in Matobo. People from Mashola Center are coming to, and they are saying we don't do machinja, and I don't know where they're coming from. Look at what they are doing in ZANU-PF. And they said, no, there's no violence. They said, no, it's sanctions in Zimbabwe. Look at how they are violating human rights, freedom of expression, freedom of political orientation. They are there. Thank you very much.
These ladies safe. Have we managed to track to find out, the whereabouts of these ladies? Because the way these people were covering their faces and advancing, it's something that you only see in movies. These are the stuff that you see in Blood Diamonds, where guerrillas and these terrorists cover their faces and they go and they shoot indiscriminately.
That was Sophie. I want to read this comment from Tsepang Ndlovu, who is saying ZANU-PF is starting again with its Kukura Hundi antics. Yes, this is what I was saying, Tsepang, to say We know ZANU-PF are killers. We know Mnangagwa is a terrorist. And we know they killed people in Matabeleland. But why are the people of Matabeleland still voting ZANU-PF? Why?
Yes.
This is, I'll ask this question until we go for elections in 2023. That was Nonhlanhla, the daughter to the late Senator Mlochwa. She has been very instrumental in Matobo. She's very resolute, very, very determined, very brave, courageous woman. These are the women that we are looking at and saying we've got leaders. And ZANU-PF wants to victimize them so that they stop doing what they are doing. She's been doing very well. She did very well in the Bulilima elections, by-election. Now she's at it again in Matogo. She's working very hard. And I know she won't budge. She will not budge. She won't back off. She is a true heroine of the struggle.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And these are more women that we need, more women of this caliber that we need for the struggle. Chief, I know you've been sitting there for a while. I know a lot is going through your mind. What do you have to say about this story?
Yeah, it's very sad what we are seeing now, what we are witnessing in Matobo. I received the message of the call for help from Honorable Molokele when he was running in the bush, leaving his car together with the rest of the team that he was traveling with. This is very disturbing. We shouldn't be having anything like this when we are having elections. But this is now what we have become used when we have elections by ZANU-PF, and it's uncalled for, and we should not even tolerate it. We need to have a response. People should be able to defend themselves. We are not a party of violence. We interact with violence only when it has been perpetrated on us the way we are seeing in Matabeleland. But really, people should be able to, or should be equipped or allowed to defend themselves. We can't keep on going on like this. It's unacceptable. And that's on that level. But on another level, as citizens, we need to come up with a response. We need to come up with solutions to counter what ZANU-PF is doing. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing this until we get to elections. And this is not good for our people. People will become afraid to even go and register to vote. They will even become afraid to come out to go and vote because they know that ZANU-PF is going to unleash violence. And ZANU-PF will do that deliberately, fully knowing that people will respond like that. And they will use that even in other areas where you'll be seeing that there is no violence. But just the mere fact that ZANU-PF officials will be moving around and telling people that we will do to you what we did in Matobo, we will do to you what we did in Gokwe, harvest of fear. That would deter people from voting, that would deter people from attending party programs or registering to vote. So we really need to come together, put our heads together, put our hands together, and come up with a way forward as we go towards 2023. I know people have said it's pointless, especially when we're protesting in New York. People were saying it doesn't help to talk to the United Nations, to the likes of the United Nations and other organizations, AU and SADC. But I am telling you that it helps. We need to do that. We need to make sure that we alert all these organizations and even come up with videos, compile them, put them together and send them to the United Nations, send them to SADC and ask SADC questions. Is this the way you want elections to be done in Zimbabwe? Is this the environment that you are preaching in SADC? Because we know that SADC has a set of guidelines to free, fair, and credible elections, to which Zimbabwe is a signatory. Zimbabwe actually signed that, and Zimbabwe is the only country that is not adhering to those to those set of guidelines. And we need to take SADC to task using videos of this nature, using the evidence that we are seeing. They can't run away, they can't refuse, because the vehicles that are being used in these orgies of violence are written Zanu PF. So why can't we make a story out of that? Why can't we send a high-powered delegation, compile everything that is happening, that has happened ever since by-elections kicked on, and present it, even here in the USA or in UK and Germany, in all the countries where the United Nations has representation. Let's come together. Let's put this information together and present it to them, and tell them that there is no way Zimbabwe is going to have free and fair elections under this environment. And we need the intervention of all these organizations, not an intervention 3 days before an election or a few days before an election. They need to be in the country. They need to be in Zimbabwe 6 months before the election, so that people can be allowed to campaign freely. This way, nobody's going to campaign. People will be afraid to go out. Even our leaders, there's going to come a time when they'll be afraid for their lives. So we need to do something right now. Thank you, Sophie.
Absolutely. Something needs to be done now. And really, this is a call for everyone in the diaspora. Get wherever you are. Like what Chief is saying, Chief Sofe is saying, let us get wherever we are. Let us amplify this. Let us send all these videos, all this information that is coming out of Zimbabwe, that there's no ways that in this environment can free and fair elections be held. And let us take them all to our local United Nations offices and have them do and say something to make sure that we get free and fair elections in Zimbabwe in a few months' time from now. Right, I think maybe we've discussed that for a bit, but I just want to go back to the story that we started off on, the Tinwald bus disaster. Champion Barbara, if you're there, I was going to ask you just to take us through the story and what was going on with the unfortunate incident where we lost 6 children in this bus accident that happened in Julius Dale. If you are there, you could let me know, Champion Barbara.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here, Sophie. It was a very unfortunate incident where 6 children, 5 girls and a boy, died on the five students died on the spot, and then the other one died at the Nyanga hospital. They were from a trip in Nyanga, the Tinwald High School children. They were from a trip, and they died on their way from the trip. It said the bus was speeding and the driver failed to negotiate a bend. And the one that died at the hospital, the condition or the state of the hospital, if you saw the pictures, it just tells it all to say, once you are sick or once you are involved in an accident in Zimbabwe, and if you are taken to a hospital, you must know that you are not coming back, or your relatives must know that you are not coming back from that hospital, because the state was just, it was horrible, unbearable to think that it's a hospital. One would even wonder why such a government is still in place when they failed. I don't know why these black governments do not know, maybe have the guts to resign when they failed, like the other governments in the developed countries. That's a very sad situation, Sophie. And today we saw the service where these children's service was held, and it was a somber mood. The people went there to pay their last respect or their condolences to the family, and we really feel sorry for the family, and we crying together with the family, and we just hope God will intervene, God will comfort them. And as Change Radio, we say, may their dear souls rest in power. Thank you.
Oh yes, that is our sentiments exactly at Change Radio. Our hearts go out to the families of those children, their friends, the school, the community, the nation at large. And we do say to the 6 young children who passed away, may your souls rest in peace. Um, Yes, at Change Radio, we did manage to reach out to a few of the local community members who live in the area where the accident happened. And I don't know if our admin has the pictures of the hospitals that these children were taken to. And, it was revealed. These are things that have been said for ages. The infrastructure, like what Champion Barbara was saying just now, these children are taken to a makeshift hospital with no doors, and the condition of the roads. Yes, there's an element of speeding that is being reported, but the conditions of the road as well. These are potholed roads, roads that are how can I say it? Roads that are not fit to be traveled on. Um, and we have an incident as well where these children are taken to these hospitals for treatment, and then they are being asked for police reports before they are treated. So the whole system just needs a 180-degree overhaul, a complete U-turn, to take care of its citizens, to make sure that it's put its citizens first, and to save the lives of its citizens. Mambo Soshe, I don't know if you want to say a few words before we go on to DJ Prof regarding this unfortunate and very painful accident.
Yeah, chokutanga toti nematambudziko nevese vakarasikirwa. Another sad moment again in our country, another dark cloud, and these instances, all of them could have been avoided, could be avoided. That time someone was speeding is something that is controllable, where the police should be coming in and making sure that those issues are taken care of, and also that someone was speeding in very bad roads. We all know the state of our roads in Zimbabwe. You'll be driving through potholes. I don't even think we should call them potholes. And then you see someone speeding. So it's a human error, it's human negligence, but at the same time, at this stage in our country, almost 20 years, no, not 20 years, 40 years after independence, we should be having all our roads in good order, in a manner, in a way that we shouldn't be having accidents that are caused by poor roads that are okay as a result of poor roads. You know, the roads there, we are told they are in bad shape, as are all the roads in Zimbabwe. And that's one thing that I should motivate the people in Nyanga and really the people in Zimbabwe to be motivated to go and register to vote, so that we remove this government and put in a government that thinks about the people first, that put citizens first, that hurumende ine moyo, hurumende inofunga nezvevanhu, inoisa vanhu pamberi, kwete kuisa homwe dzavo pamberi, because Zimbabwe is not poor. Zimbabwe can afford to have good roads, but we are not having good roads because people are taking the money and putting it in their pockets. People are looting money that is meant for public works. It's going into people's pockets, into people's banks. And the only way we can get away, we can run away from that, is to vote and remove this government. Otherwise, if we do not, I am telling you, Zimbabweans that are listening, nothing is going to change. With Zanu PF, nothing will ever change. Zanu PF is never just going to stop looting. They wake up tomorrow morning, they are no longer stealing. There is no more corruption in Zanu PF. It's not going to happen. Just the fact that nobody has been arrested for all the millions of dollars that were stolen in Zinara. Zinara is responsible for these roads. But the money is taken in toll gates. People are paying money that is coming into the government. That money in normal countries, in all the other countries, is supposed to go back and make sure that we have good roads. But that's not the fact in Zimbabwe. That money is taken away. That money is stolen. Everyone is stealing at every level. People are competing to steal. So we will continue to have these instances. We will continue to have citizens losing lives on things like this. So let's continue to urge Zimbabweans to do something about our situation. Look what happened in Lesotho. The situation looked dire a few months ago. There was a repressive regime there. People were being beaten up. People were being shot at. But they got angry. They didn't get angry and sit at home. They got angry and mobilized each other. And they turned en masse and they went and voted the ruthless regime out. That's what we need to have as Zimbabweans. And it is possible. I know that it always looks impossible until it is done. I think that was Nelson Mandela who said that. Because Zimbabweans, we always think our situation is the worst. And we think that our situation is unattainable. Even if we vote, we won't be able to remove Zanu PF. No. That mentality that we have is the one that is going to keep Zanu PF going. If we all change our mindsets and say that other countries are doing it, they are removing repressive regimes through the ballot box, as we can do it. What do you need to do? All you need to do is to just go and vote, to go and register to vote. That's all. Saka what do you lose to just go and do your constitutional duty, your national duty as a Zimbabwean? Because everyone must vote. If you are in Zimbabwe, you must vote. You shouldn't be asked to go and vote. You shouldn't be persuaded to go and vote. You should just take it as your duty. That's something that our new government, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, should address as soon as they came into power. We need to teach people right from primary school to secondary school the importance of voting, the importance of knowing what the Constitution says. The Constitution says everyone after the age of 18 must vote or is eligible to vote. We must take it as a national duty and just take pride and know that when it's voting time, you go and vote. So Zimbabweans, let's do this. If you are here, encourage the people in Zimbabwe to go and register to vote and also turn out to go and vote en masse. That's the only way we are going to remove Zanu PF. Hatikwanisi kupinda musango kunorwa neZanu PF we don't have the necessary apparatus. We don't even have the capacity to fight Zanu PF nehondo. Atina, the only weapon we have is your finger. This yakatawa na President Chamisa, and you go and put X at the right place. And it's simple, it's doable. We can do it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. Yes, the only voice that we can use to change and to bring about change in Zimbabwe is to go and to vote. DJ Prof, would you like to add a few words to the accident, to the Julius De Nyanga accident that has happened?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was speaking to myself. I was on mute. But anyway, Serge Dambotaura earlier on kuti tiri pakusurekeza zvikuru ne zvakaitika ku Julius Dale, and my stories it touches all our hearts, because you begin to think as a young person, as a Zimbabwean, kuti zvinhu izvi dei hurumende yedu yakanga yakagadzira migwagwa, chokutanga tingadai takasangana here netsaona yakadai inoclaim the lives of the young people, promising young people vari kubva kumakuno kunofara kutrip yechikoro vachidzokera kudzimba. Then we get this. That's the first thing. The second thing ndechekuti I think we have spoke about the issue of violence that is happening in Matobo. You look at the cars kuti dzabva kupi. Some of them you find out that dzabva kumasendera, dzabva kuna namanikaland ikoko, but you hear kuti vana vakatotambura kuti vawane transport yekuendesa kuchipatara. So imagine kuti we have got leadership with lost priority at all. They don't know where to put their priority on. Sure, vanoenda accident poita 2 hours 3 hours vasati vaendeswa kuchipatara, but umwe munhu ari kukwanisa kudrive motikari 7 hours kuenda kunoita violence. Then you see kuti we are actually living in a bush instead of a country. We can't have leaders like that. We can't have leaders like that. The third point, the so-called president, he was in Manicaland, he was in Boera, Pakaitika accident, but he decided to parade greeting my musician. Nothing. He never even tried to go to the accident scene. And he come and people to be listening President Wevan. Now the country is mourning, not even a word from the president about these kids. Because I know the road ndinda kaiparadza. Party yangu ndio yakaparadza road. So there's nothing to cry for, there's nothing to send a condolence to this family for. But mchaona manje, unwe Zanu PF, mchaona manje kana wangoona kuti 1 or 2 of those kids pane zvakuitika nema citizens. Ndopa vanenge wakuya vakuti yakuti state burial vakutoti zvazvedu, because vanongoda grandstand pese. But we are saying this so that people can see what type of leadership do we have in Zimbabwe. We could not have cried for these kids today. We could never have mourned for these kids today if our road network was looked after. Zvipenga zveroad, and then we said we have a government. That's what I just wanted to say. But tine leadership isina priority nezvinhu zvinofanirwa kunge zvichipiwa priority nazvo. We can't have an accident yekuti manoita 2 hours pasati patakurwa vanhu. Even some of the deaths could have been avoided. Munoita chipatara chokuti munoita chipatara chiri 100 kilometers away to each other. Kuti zvimboita sei nyika yakazara vanhu pese. It's a really pain, and it's really a pain to the people of Zimbabwe, actually to the citizens, because as a leadership hapana kana one zvinombomu affecta, because you don't see their kids vachitravela nemabhazi akadaro vakatonzwa mwana wari kuenda kutrip anotoendeswa nechikopokopo. So they are safe and vanoita zvavanoda panguva yanenge vachida. So I really, it's a really an emotional story. Let me go back to you, Champion Sophia.
No, thank you, DJ Prof. Leader Estella, I know you are busy somewhere else, but would you like to just come in just for 2 minutes with your contribution to this story?
Thank you, Champion Sophia. I'll just like to emphasize what everyone has said, that the blood of these children is on the head or the heads of ZANU-PF officials. They are in every way responsible for the loss of these lives, for not bothering to maintain the roads, for not enforcing laws that would ensure that we have drivers who are licensed, not only licensed, but experienced. I feel like a bus company that transports children has the responsibility to ensure that the driver they employ is not only licensed, but experienced, because we all value children. They are the future of our country. And it is very irresponsible for a company to have a bus driver who cannot negotiate a bend, most likely because he was going too fast on a road that has potholes. An experienced driver would know better than to do that. This whole incident speaks of someone who probably bribed someone to get a license, who probably got a job because he knew someone. And all of that falls squarely on the shoulders of ZANU-PF. Even the dilapidated state of the hospital to which the one child who died at hospital, that state of the hospitals speaks of an irresponsible government. And ZANU-PF is not only killing opposition members, as most Zimbabweans choose to deceive themselves to believe. Many Zimbabweans will look aside when incidents such as the Matobo incidents takes place. They choose to keep quiet for their own safety. But what they don't realize is that if ZANU-PF doesn't come at you with a gun, with a weapon, they are going to get you in many, many different ways. Accidents, poor medical treatment at the hospitals, lack of water, lack of food, disease spreading from unsanitary living conditions. I just hope that all these incidents which are taking place can be a wake-up call for that Zimbabwean who is complacent, who thinks that because I don't speak out, I am not involved in politics, they think I am safe. ZANU-PF will not come after me. We are all at the hands of ZANU-PF. Our lives are at risk at the hands of ZANU-PF. And so it is something that we all need to make sure that we use this window of opportunity that is facing us come 2023 and make sure that we do the right thing, not only for ourselves today, but for generations to come. We go and we exercise our right to choose the leaders whom we believe can deliver a better future for our children. Thank you so much, Leader Sophia.
Thank you so much, Champion Estella, for those wise words. And indeed, let me take this opportunity to remind our listeners and viewers, register to vote. If you don't know where to go, there is a toll-free number, a free phone number that you can call. That is 08080219. The number is 08080219. Or if you're an Econet or Net1 subscriber, you can dial *265# on your phone and just follow the instructions. There is the toll-free number at the bottom, and there are the instructions on the banner. So that is dial *265#, from your Econet or Net1 number and just follow the instructions, or call the toll-free number 08080219. Right, moving on to our next story of the Chitungwiza councillors that had just elected a new mayor, Councillor Lovemore Maiko, and only to be suspended by the local government ministry a few days later, along with 5 other councillors. I think if we have the letter, if it's coming up and it's ready, I'll just read a few comments from our viewers and listeners that were commenting regarding the Nyanga accident. And Tsitsi Mutongi says, very sad. This is heartbreaking. Maina Fadzai Musanu says, my condolences to the families. Alexander Bue has said, Lord help me, I am in pain. Tongai Ryan Musa is saying, very, very sad. As Doni Munongo Warwa is also saying, very sad. Tendai Mambondiani, thank you for tuning in, is saying, Zino Rwadza. Johnson Magagani is saying, so sad, guys. Hey, condolences to the families and all of us as Zimbabweans. Tinoti, rest in peace, Vanavedu. Walter Hondo, thank you as well for tuning in. Walter Hondo says, so sad. May their souls rest in eternal peace. And James Mujizo says, very sad. Right. Maybe just to move on to that story of the Chitungwiza councillors that have been suspended. DJ Prof, do you want to say something, and then we can go on to Chief Sose to just give just 2 minutes, because I think our time is getting bad on the story of the Chitungwiza councillors that have been suspended.
Yeah, so what I can just say is exactly what is on the on the tweet there, that saying stop abusing of power, the abuse of power by the regime, actually through the powers from the local government ministry. Tinoziva kuti ma councils, ma local government councils are under the Ministry of Local Government, which is headed by July Moyo. And munoziva kuti Councillor Lovemore Maiko vakanga vaitwa record na Douglas Monzora vachinzi izvoni now he is no longer an MDC Alliance elected councillor. Then ndokubva kwaitwa by election Councillor Maiko ndobva vahwina zvakare, zvinova zvakarwadza Zanu Light Douglas Monzora akabva aenda kumaofisi ezanu zvikanzi vakomana zvandirwadza toita sei, ndobva vaenda kuma elections zvakare ekutsvaka meya weguta. Vakomana ve CCC vari mucouncil vakati tiri kudzosera meya wedu tichiri kumunda, vaLovemore Maiko kubva vadzosera zvakare kuita meya. Chiripo ripotyo kwamazuva 2-3 kwakutonzi vakabva vasuspendwa. Woshaya kuti ko munhu achangodzoka muparamendi, munhu achangodzoka mucouncil in 3 days wotosuspendwa. Ususpenderwei? Nyaya dzacho hadzipo dziri clear. Nyaya dzacho kunonzi wakatenda meeting yaanga achifanirwa kunge achiattend, kunonzi wakaconvena meeting yaakafanirwa kunge achiconvena. Saka izvozvo it's abuse of power yeZANU-PF, and they are trying by all means necessary to thwart all the movements, progressive movement that is happening by the CCC movement. But we are saying CCC is unstoppable. If you want to stop CCC, you are trying to swim against the current, and the owners you'll be swiped away. Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed, it's an unstoppable movement. There's nothing that is going to stop an idea whose time has come. Chief Sose, would you like to give us your contribution to the CCC councillors in Chitungwiza being suspended? Okay. I think everything has been said, yes. Right. And I think our second last story today will be talking about the video where the Triple C Vice President, Honorable Tendai Biti, was talking about drug abuse. We're not going to talk much about that, but I'm just going to ask our admin in the background just to flight that video for us. And I think it's self-explanatory. If anyone would like to just comment one or two, we can do that before we talk about our final issue. The topic where the video where Honorable Tendai Biti was talking about the dangers and discouraging the use of drugs amongst the Zimbabwean citizens that has seen a rise that is happening in our community and particularly affecting the youths in the country.
Is affecting our youths. The drug called crystal meth, also known as mtoriro, guka, traditional drugs like prepared Indian hemp, also known as banje, the abuse of cough mixtures is spreading and is rife, particularly in exponentially. So I want the minister to tell us what measures his ministry, him and his minister, are taking to ensure that, number one, we stop the importation of these drugs, these medicines into Zimbabwe. Number two, we deal with the barrels, the drug lords that are actually bringing these drugs. Wherever you go to court, wherever you read in the newspapers, it's only the runners that are being targeted. But the real pinkers, the masterminds of these drugs are not being exonerated. And then thirdly, what program is the ministry putting for the rehabilitation of these centers? Because oftentimes, Mr. Speaker said, when these children become wasted, become drug addicts, the society looks down upon them. Even parents chase them away. They commit crime in order to feed their drugs. They become the scum of the nation. What program is the ministry putting to rehabilitate these young people who have fallen prey to these dangerous drugs? I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
So yes, there we have Vice President Tendai Biti asking very pertinent and crucial questions about the rise in drug abuse that we're seeing in the country. And he mentions in particular crystal meth or mutoriro, guka. That is really taking its toll on the communities where bases are set up and people go and inject and use these drugs. And the police is doing nothing because, you know, they say every one week or 2 weeks, the police drive by there and they actually are getting money from these drug dealers who are actually well-oiled and well-connected to top Zanu PF officials. So this is a scourge that we are facing in Zimbabwe, that we need to come together to fight head on and to make sure that our youths and our community are focused and are drug free. So there, Vice President Tendai Biti at the forefront of championing this very crucial cause, this very crucial fight against drug abuse. I don't know, Champion Barbara, DJ Prof, no? I think maybe this is self-explanatory. I think before we then go, just the last issue, the victory celebrations, the Triple C held victory celebrations in Kambuzuma, where there was a clean sweep in the by-elections that were held a few months ago, and several guest speakers going in there, and Change Radio was on site and live and capturing these celebrations. I'm not sure if we have the videos ready, but if not, make sure that you do come to the page Follow Change Radio on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and get to see these series of videos because they are uploaded and they're on the sites, and just interact with the radio station. It is actually, at the end of the day, it's the people's radio. It is your radio. I don't know if Chief Shoshe is still in here. Would you like to say a few words while we're closing? If not, Leader Estella, maybe we could just read a few comments from one or two of our viewers before we go out with our closing videos. Okay, let us read a few comments from the viewers. We've got Perceived Julius, who says, failure of ZANU PF to produce jobs, that is the cause. And that is very true. That is the cause of the drug surge, the abuse of drugs that we're seeing in Zimbabwe that we had not seen before. And it's being fueled, if the truth be told, by the ZANU PF top leadership who are bringing in these drugs, and they've got these bases, and they're being taken even deep down into areas where you might not even, think that drug abuse might be an issue. Chakari, a big base where ZANU PF players and leaders are taking their drugs and selling them and making the youths, victims of these drugs and dependent on these drugs. We also have Take More. Perceived Judy as saying, I like this man. Okay. I think he's talking about the Vice President, Honorable Tendai Biti there. Then we have Take More Masika Sika saying, very sad indeed. Yes, well, a lot of stories that we spoke about today have been very sad indeed. Perceived Julia says, thank you, my sister, for those statements. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following us. And do share, and do spread the word, and about Change Radio, and do make it a constant action. Yeah. I don't know if we have our closing song ready, but for this time, I just want to thank the viewers and listeners on behalf of all the panelists that we had today for joining us on this, our news review, where we took a look at the topics that made the headlines in the news this past week. Our panelists, Chief Shoshe, Champion Barbara, D-Day Prof, Champion Zikoma Njengwa, Champion Estella, and all of you, our listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for joining us and for spending time with us, and for the comments as well that you were interacting with us. Stay tuned to Change Radio. There's still a lot more informative and entertaining programs lined up for you that, we encourage you and we urge you to listen to and to stay tuned with us. But for myself, Sophia Tekwani, and the rest of the team behind the crew, it's a very good evening, and we see you again next week, same time, same place. Good night.
It's